is the week one. What is it called? Visual communication, foundational theory. Sorry. So elements of design, we have the foundational theory, we have the elements of design firstly, we have the points, the principle of layouts, color theory, and topography. And then we have the week two, the logo design, brand identity, the brand kits, and identity system. Then week three, industry standard, the vector design, Illustrator. We won't be working with Figma. Okay, Illustrator starts Figma. Resting, so we'll be working, restoring, editing, Photoshop and Canva. But we won't be working with Photoshop basically. We'll be working with CorelDraw and layout software, UI UX foundations. And week four, the portfolio, freelance marketplace, client management, and self-promotion. So then next, so after this, I will be going to the main event of the day, the reason why we are here. So, sorry. I'll be going to the main reason why we are here to, then I'll explain. So I'll explain the principles of graphic design and I'm coming, so I'll be able to share. So can you guys see it now? We'll be working with graphic design mastery first of all, and firstly we'll be working on visual communication theory and introduction to CorelDraw. Then second of all, we're working with visual communication fundamentals, elements of designs, principle of layouts. Then next, we're working on color theory and application. Then vector versus raster graphics. Then navigating the CorelDraw workspace, and like a scenario explaining how designs work, and then we'll be working on the prompts. So we'll be working with the visual communication theory. So before touching your software, I hope we can all hear me clearly. Before touching the software, you must understand the universal rule of design. We will explain the elements of design, explore how layout principle guides the human eyes, and unpick physiology of color theory. Then, so before before you start working with a design, you have to firstly understand the elements of the design, understand how the layout work, how the principle of designs work. Because basically, before you have a design, like before you can pass, design is basically about passing a message to people. And then before you can have people to like quickly catch up your message, you have to look for a way to make it, I don't know how to put it, the word, like make it very bold that your message is like being passed very, very fast. Like people are able to understand what you're saying as fast as possible, instead of like having to like read a whole lot of content before they get whatever you are saying. Then we have, so that's that's what we're going to basically work on today. How to describe the elements of this design, explore how the layout principle guide the human eye, and unpack physiology of color theory. Then the second one will be working on introduction to CorelDraw. So basically today we will be working on the CorelDraw software. I'll just be explaining how to navigate the app. But like next week I'll be able to show you guys how we are going to work on the screen of, like, I'm going to show you how we are going to work on CorelDraw particularly. So before you can a great design is not just about making things look pretty. It is the strategic arrangement of elements to communicate a specific message. I hope you all are getting me. Are you all getting what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody's following up. Mm. Like, can you guys see my, like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, yes, definitely. I'm going to like send the slides to you guys. You're going to work with it. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know how to explain today, but like, I'm going to like try to explain to you guys. Yes, you can ask questions too. You can ask questions. So let me like continue with the slides. If you don't get anything, please let me know. I'm so sorry. Was not. So first of all, we're working with the elements of design, the tools, with the front line and shape, the basic building blocks of any illustration, texture and form, adding depth and relativity to flat objects. So before a design can like come into place, you before like I don't know how to explain, but designs like work with what's it called, tools actually. It's just like bringing tools to life to get a particular thing, and then before you can create a whole layout of design, like a whole flyer or something you want to work with, you work with some particular tools on on that software, which is like we have so many tools on CorelDraw, and we can also work with Canva to where we have tools, and we also have some apps that like have their own particular templates, whereby you can just like use the templates to work with some editing. But if you don't really know about the basics of design, there are some things that when you see it, you know that it's not actually right. Do you get, like, it is not passing a particular message to where to how it's supposed to pass a particular message. I hope if you guys get what I'm saying. So we have the texture and form, adding depth and realism to flat objects. So, before you have the texture of how you want to design your something. So I'm looking for the best way to break this, like, if first explanation down to you guys that you're going to understand it better. But like before you create a design, you have like to work with shapes and some particular tools that's going to make it easier for you. So if you know how to like add these shapes together and work with it, it's going to be very easier. So we have principles of layout, we have hierarchy, and making the most important text the largest slash boldest. We have contrast, ensuring elements stand out against other backgrounds. We have alignment and balance, creating invisible grids that bring order to chaos. So basically, if you have like, let's just give for instance now, let's say you have like an addressing flyer. Before you can even read the whole write-up, there's something that must actually make it look outstanding, that is actually an addressing flyer, which means that probably like the pictures, the images, like the air images and the whole clinical that they'll just add to it to make it look very, very catchy. Even the logo would define that, okay, this is what this person is actually working with. If you guys get me, I don't know if you guys understand what I am saying though. Oh, okay then, let me like try to, I don't know. Let me try to like explain better. Or should I send the what is it called? The slides to the group chat? Then probably you guys can be like following up with it like that. I don't know if it's going to work that way. Okay, no problem. Let me send it to you now. I'm so sorry if you guys are not getting it. I'm going to try my best to make you guys understand it more better. I'm coming, please. So I've sent it. So I guess like this now you guys can like follow up. I sent it to the group chat already. So have you seen it? You should have delivered by now. So you'll be working with, then, like what I was explaining earlier, I said that in like every design, there must be something that's going to make it define the particular brand you are working for. Like I give an instance like the hairdressing design, what's it called, flyer design, whereby what's it called, the how will I even put it? Here? You have a particular something that's going to make it look different. Are going to be able to understand that this is the reason why we have, like, this is the design, like this is which brand, the brand that is going to explain for. So a design should define what you are. Oh, a design should define a brand. That is what it's supposed to do. So every to work with how you are going to design a particular flyer or a particular flyer. Let me just say that way. So basically, the the shapes are used to build blocks of any illustration. So to even design anything, to design flyer, what's it called, logos and other things, you use shapes to actually make the designs. Then we have the principles of layout, like I explained, like the most important text and the making the most important text the largest and boldest. So before you can know a particular flyer, like before you can read the whole write up underneath the flyer, there should be something that's going to make it like pop out, like the brand name now. For instance, the brand name, when you see, let me say, something beauty salon, like Ibris Beauty Salon, you already know that this person is actually working for the hair and all. So if the Ibris Beauty Salon, like if you don't see a beauty salon there, you won't know that that is like just I'm trying to explain that having the brand name, having the important text bold and large. If you understand what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, thank you very much. So, as I was saying, I want to continue sharing my screen so you'll be able to. So, the other one, ensuring elements stand out against their backgrounds. So, like, there are some designs that whereby you will see like the text or like covering up a particular color, like I don't know, where different things are just like popping up together, where you can't even understand the message is passing. Every flyer pass a message to everybody. So let me say like you have a whole like a big banner on the road now. Let's say like the way we see this Nivea banners and all those stuff on the road. Like you can actually know that this brand is doing this particular thing. Like this is what they're trying to advertise. This is the message they're trying to pass to us. Like for instance, now like an alcohol company trying to pass a message to somebody, like just saying rated 18 and those kind of things that they used to write there, and then they don't put the particular things like the important things up, and then they're just like contradicting the images with the write up. So basically, if you want to have a flyer or a banner up somewhere, you can't contradict the write up and the images together, because if they're I don't know how to put it. If they are falling on each other, you can't understand the kind of message it is passing, because every flyer or banner passes a message. Every design actually has a message it is passing to somebody, because it is not like as if putting a logo on the text is not going to, like, because a logo is a brand identity. So imagine putting a text on a logo, it's not going to, like, it is not defining the brand identity very well, that kind of thing. So ensuring elements stand out against each other, against their background. So the text has its own space it's going to stay at, the logo has its own space it's going to stay at, the images you're going to try to use to define whatever you're defining has its own space to stay at. So the one must not like fall on the other, and the other must not fall on one. Like, if you get what I'm trying to explain. Alliance and balance. Creating invisible grids that bring order to chaos. So in a flyer now, if we always have like a way to explain how to rule something, that you're going to make sure that everything is working on the same line, that everything is balanced together, that you make sure that whatever you are doing is not like again, like, okay, now for instance, if you are writing in a class, there's definitely going to be a way you're going to rule a line, that you're making sure that you're not writing that line, like that red line in our notes. That is just like the balance, the alignment. So you make sure that every design is aligned, like is in order, if you get me well. So if you are making your designs, make sure that your alignment is key, because it is the only way you can make your design look very, very, I don't know how, like, very smooth. Like, it's not going to be very rough and something like that. Because if you are having a design like everything is just jaga jaga, like it does not have alignment, everything is not well defined and all like that, it's not going to pass the message well to wherever it's passing it to. So that's for the principles of layouts, which is the rules. Once again, we are talking about making sure the most important text, making the most important text the largest / boldest, which means that the text has to be bold enough to make to pass a particular message. Secondly, ensuring elements stand out against each other, which means that every element has what it is doing on the flyer, on the design you are working with. So make sure that every single one of it is separate, is not working, it's not contradicting each other. Third of all, alignment and balance. So creating invisible grids that bring order to chaos, which means that you have to make sure everything is on point. You have to make sure that you are not contradicting anything with each other. Everything is well aligned and well ruled. Like, you are not scattering anything anyhow. You are passing a particular message to people. So if something is well aligned, it is easier to read, it is easier to understand. It is that way. That is how it works. So the next one, we have color theory and application. Colors evoke immediate physiological reactions before the viewer read a single word. So we have the color wheel. Let me give you like something is that if you are designing a flyer, every color gives, like, I don't know how to put it, every color is passing a particular message. That is just it. Because every color has its own meaning. So before you can design a flyer, you have to know that this particular brand is doing this particular thing. Imagine using a very weird color for, I'm just going to use hairdressing brand. Imagine using a color. I'm not saying color green is not nice. It is, but like, it does not define beauty. Like, as a female, if you are like, if you want to do something, let me say I see a color yellow design, like a color yellow flyer, pink flyer for an hairdressing shop, because this is basically, pink is like a girly kind of thing, and it defines, like, it just talks about beauty, those kind of thing. Like, color defines your brand too. Like, before you can actually pick a brand color, you have to like make sure that it's aligning with what you want. It is aligning with everything. I've shared the slide already. I already sent it to the group. You can check it on the group. So you make sure that every color is defining what you are designing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think I should be taking questions after the class. So in case if you guys don't understand anything, I'm going to go back to it. I hope you guys are following up, Sha. So then we have the primary color. We have the red, blue, yellow. We have secondary color. We have the green, orange, purple. We have the homophones, complementary, opposites, next to each other. So basically, we'll talk about physiology now. What the color actually portrays, like what the color explains. We have color blue. Blue portrays trust, corporate, calm. Like, if you have a pure water company, like a table water company now, a brand that is just working with something very calm, like a table water company, for instance, they are working with water. So like, they will make their let me say their flyer design or something like blue, to like just this, like, now that is just to express what they are actually working with. Like, we know like water is like light blue. We have like an idea of what the color of water looks like. Even if you want to buy let me say you want to design a flyer for a table water brand now, basically you can't use like a color yellow. It is not possible. It is not defining the brand at all. So it is not even working with the brand. So like every color defines the brand. That is just how it works. Then we have red, urgency, passion, and danger. So like that, urgency, passion, and danger. For instance, you want to say, let me say, you want to quickly pass a message to people that it is very, very urgent, probably like the deadline of something is kiniko. So basically you are going to work with like something that's going to make you look very, very urgent, like something that's going to make everybody be like, okay, this is actually taking this thing very, very serious, that kind of thing. And then we have growth, we have green, we have growth, wealth, and nature, where we have, let me give you an instance, like an NGO company, if they want to create a brand, let's say a brand color, or let me say like an agriculture company now, an agriculture company can never work with a yellow brand a yellow brand identity for so many reasons. First reason is because green is not defining what they are working with. They are working with nature, and green defines nature. So like that's what I was saying to explain, that every color defines the brand, because that color has to like be working in alignment, like has to align with whatever we are doing, like with that particular brand. I hope you guys are getting me. Then we have vector versus raster graphics. So understanding the distinction is most important. Technical lesson in graphic design. So raster graphics, made up of thousands of tiny colored squares called pixels. If you zoom in or scale them up, they become blurry and blocky, pixelated. So if we start working with CorelDraw, I'm going to explain this more better. So like on the software, on the surface of the software, like when you open the CorelDraw app and all like that, if you like try to zoom in like very well, you will see the pixels. Pixels are like a very, very small box that are like on the how will I put it, on the layout of the of the CorelDraw app. So that's like they are like colored squares called pixels. So these pixels are like very, very small. Like you cannot see them until you actually zoom in. So that is just like what is on the background of the software we are going to be working with. And then we have vector graphics. We have CorelDraw, made up of mathematical equations, points, and curves. A vector logo can be scaled from size of business card to the size of a skyscraper without ever losing a drop of quality. So every design, like I don't even know how to put this one very well, made up of mathematical equations, points, and curves. A vector logo can be scaled from the size of business card to the size of a skyscraper without ever losing a drop of quality. So now, if you design a particular flyer or something, when you finish designing your old this thing like that, so the whole color balancing with each other, working together, the what's it called? The CorelDraw app, I would like it's a software app though that you have to like, how will I even put it? You have to like get it from like you have to get it somewhere. The slide is on the group already. You can just check it, please. Yes, it's on a PC actually. But like the CorelDraw app is a designing app. But like the next class, I'm going to show you guys how to work with it. Like I'm going to show you guys the whole interface and all like that. You can't download it on your phone because like it's a software application that if you want to use it, you have to like pay for it. So you have to like go to another, what is it called? Probably like a cyber cafe or something where they actually work with designs, and then you're going to send it to your PC. Yes, definitely. We are going to be using a PC for the next class. So when you open the CorelDraw for the first time, you understand where tools live. So I'm saying that like next class I'm going to like be working with the CorelDraw particularly. So then we have the toolbox on the left, which contains all creation, Yes, we have the toolbox, we have the property bar on top, we have the dockers and inspectors on the right, we have the color palette far right. So this one now, like, I can't really explain this if you guys are actually not seeing it. I'm not sure we can use a phone for CorelDraw because I've not downloaded it on a phone before. It's basically on my system. So before I can even use CorelDraw, you have it's a software application that you have to go and collect it, because if you are downloading this on your phone, you have to pay. And I don't know how. Yet, should we work with Canva first or CorelDraw first? Canva can be used on your phone actually, but Canva is not going to like define what I'm trying to explain to you. If you're using Canva, it's not going to explain this whole thing. Yeah, it's just Canva that is going to be usable for the phone. Then we have, so this is going to, and CorelDraw is actually very, very good, to be honest, because it's going to explain, like make you know how to work with the whole shapes and how to define the color and everything like that. So then we have thinking scenario, the document setup. So a local restaurant hires you to design two separate assets. A large physical outdoor banner to hang above their door, a promotional image to post on their Instagram account. So prompt when using your initial document in CorelDraw. I hope you can see this what's it called? I hope you can see this slide that we are like I'm on. So when setting up your initial document in CorelDraw, which color mode, CMYK, RGB, and which measurement units, inches or pixels, should be selected for each project and why. So basically we have the CMYK and the RGB. So we have one that is like can be printed out, and we have one that is supposed to be for that's supposed to be for an Instagram post. So if you are going to be printing out something, you will be using inches. Like for a banner, we'll be like working on inches, how to like know the particular amount of inches you are going to use for a particular banner that you are going to put out. Like like the way we have the same size for flyer, we have sizes for banners too, and stuff like that. Then on the other hand, we have inches are used for banners, like what's it called? Those big flyers that are printed outside, those ones that you can use in schools and all like that. Then we have pixels. Pixels are like those ones that are for Instagram posts, those kind of small posts like that, Sha. Then I'm sorry, please. I'm so sorry, please, like a few minutes. So every what is it called? Post has their like every this thing. I'm so sorry, I went to quickly do something. Every flyer has like their own sizes. We have the same way we have business card, we have flyer for what's it called? We have business card, we have flyers for we have Instagram flyers, Instagram posts, we have Facebook flyers. Like everything has their own different everything has their own different pixels that are going to use for it, and inches. And then those big banners to have their own inches, because there's a way they're going to like print out, so for you to know how long, how wide, how any amount, how you want it to be. That is like that's what that one is working for. And pixels and RGB. RGB is a color mode used for digital display like monitors and phone screen, while CMYK is a color model used for printing. So RGB, if you want to, like, let me say now, if you want to do something on your CorelDraw, and then when you are designing, you'll be using RGB for what's it called? Because you're using it for like probably like an Instagram post or a social media post. It's basically RGB, because this is going to like help you define your color and like able to like balance balance the color well, to be able to come out like the graphics is going to come out well better on the phone than printing out. Then CMYK is for printing out. Like we are going to analyze the difference when we are actually working on CorelDraw, so you guys are going to like understand how it works. like that. So for me, then we have you now. Okay, so summary, that's week one wrap up. When you now understand the physiological foundations of designs and mathematical power of vector works and all like that. So I just wanted to be sure. So are you guys still following up? Just to be sure that everybody's like following up with me. So then week one, there is an assignment here, but like we won't be like the assignment is going to work with the next class because I cannot particularly explain this. Like the whole Kinecon here is for when we have our CorelDraw app. So the next assignment you are going to be working with so like the next class, your assignment is that make sure you get a CorelDraw software on your system, the updated version. If you like go to any nearby cyber cafe that they do printing and all like that, they have CorelDraw. CorelDraws, they're going to send it to you. Probably you might, I don't know. I think they pay for it or something. I don't know, sure. So then, when you have that, I just want you guys to have. I will send an assignment to the group so that just to know that you guys actually understood what I said today. And I think that will be all for now, because like I think that is all I can explain without the CorelDraw app. So the next class we are going to like, be working with the CorelDraw app, and then I'm going to be like explaining the whole. Yes, I'm going to explain how to use CorelDraw. I think I'll be answering questions after the whole class. So I'm coming. Please let me just like finish what I'm explaining, so I won't like get interrupted. So basically, we are going to understand how to use the CorelDraw tools. I'm going to explain how to use the CorelDraw tools from the beginning to the end. Nothing to worry about. We'll do that in the next class, and you and then. That's for that. Then I'm going to be sending assignments to the group that we are going to work on. But just ensure that you get the CorelDraw app, the CorelDraw software before the next class, please. So we are going to work on that. And then I'm going to explain how to use the tools and everything like that. So I think that will be all for now. So a recap. Before I do a recap, yes, CMYK is for printing. Before I do a recap, I want to like answer you guys' questions. We are going to just try to work on the whole things I've already talked about before and all like that. So I will start answering the questions. So we are going to I'm going to answer the questions with everybody. So first of all, CMYK is for printing out. Why RGB is for your phone. So CMYK, when you want to print out something on a system, probably like you have a design that you want to do and you want to send it to probably like a printer or something, CMYK is what you are going to put the design as. But if you are using it as like probably a what is it called? I'm so sorry, a flyer for your phone is going to be on RGB. So the color is going to be balanced and everything. Like I'm going to like send you guys probably like just one flyer, and they are going to like understand what I'm trying to say, like how flyers like define a particular something. How so RGB is supposed to be for the phone, because on our phone, you know, like there's a way, like if you have your pictures on it, how it's going to make it more pretty and like how it's going to come out well. And then on your what is it called, on the banner, it cannot be the same way. It's going to be the same on your phone, but like the how is going to be very, very bright to be different from the other one. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. So like I explained earlier, CMYK and RGB is, oh my gosh, I'm coming to it. So I want to like work with it. I'm not going to put anybody out of this. So as like I said earlier, CMYK is for printing, while RGB is for what's it called? Putting, like, probably you have the image on your phone or something. So these are like, if this is something to explain that when we have our CorelDraw app, we're going to be able to explain it better because it is for, oh gosh, CMYK is for like, is for your printout settings. While on the other hand, the RGB is for your phone settings. So like that is how CorelDraw works with the whole design Kineko. So so I'm coming. Then I'll be getting back to the question. Yes, the class is correctly recorded, and um, so the only app that works for graphic design that is on the phone is Canva, and then probably after let me say the next class, probably after the CorelDraw class, I'll just be introducing us to Canva. Canva is like more like a very, very simple app to navigate on if you like know how to work with it well. And I think after that, what's next can I say is that any other questions? So I need questions. But like I said earlier, CorelDraw, yes, you are going to be learning CorelDraw from the scratch as a beginner. I'm going to take you guys through the integrity of CorelDraw, how we are going to work with it and all. And then you can download CorelDraw on your system. On your phone, sorry, you can only download it you can only have it on your system because you have to pay for CorelDraw. So basically, if you are going to probably a cyber cafe or something, you will also be paying for it to get it because I think I also paid for mine, but it should not be expensive though. And then you're going to collect it on your phone or your laptop, and then you're going to be working with it that way. So, but for those of us that do not have a laptop, I'm still going to explain on or what's it called on how we're going to work in it. But like, yes, that's just how it is. But like on the other hand, we are going to be using Canva. I'm going to explain Canva. So we are going to have like, let me say you want to quickly make a design or something like that. Canva. Oh my, shame. Yes, you are going to be moving deeper into the two software, the two apps, the CorelDraw and the Canva. We are going to be working with the two of them. I think that's one because Canva will be easier to use later on. So Canva will be easier to use later on. So any other questions? I think that is all. I think I've answered everybody's question. But if I haven't, please notify. So I'm going to answer your questions. So I cannot really say because I don't know. I don't really like. I'm not really a PC kind of person. It's just to collect my app. That is why. So before you can, yes. Thank you very much for answering the question, Samuel. So what else? Any other questions, please? Okay, I'm going to be sending the assignment to the group because I don't know. This particular one is not for like it's not like a beginner assignment. So like in the next class, yes, I already answered that. We are going to be teaching CorelDraw on the on this on this class. The next class, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to work with it very well, and I'm very very sure you will do. No, it is like when you go to the cafe, they might want to collect money from you because they also like there are two versions though. There's the art version and like the normal version. So the art version is like what people actually use majorly. So there's going to be assignments. I am definitely going to be sending assignments to the group. And I already sent you can't download it or you just have I'm trying my best to like talk very loud as I can. So like I don't know why you're not hearing what I'm saying. I don't know if you can download it though. I sent it to the group. Probably I should send it again so that you guys can see it. But I sent it just now. So I'm going to be sending an assignment to the group on the CMYK and RGB. Okay, so I'm going to be sending an assignment to the group on the CMYK and RGB. I think people don't really understand that part of CorelDraw because that one is just working on what's it called? That one is just working on the printing aspect, and when you want to export it to an image aspect, that kind of thing, that is what that particular one is working for. So if you are going to probably will be working on, I'm just going to send an assignment as soon as possible. Immediately when we end the class, I'm going to be sending an assignment. My God. So I'm going to be sending the assignment. Okay, if you can download the app, the CorelDraw, no problem. As long as you're going to work with it next week, and that is all for now. And also I hope you guys understand the whole what's it called, everything I explained earlier. Or should I make a week? Should we have a recap of what I've explained before? I need quick answers, please. Okay, no problem then. So I said, if I don't know, should I send the what's it called, the slide to the group again, or you guys have seen it already? Okay, so I'm coming, please. So I'll send this to the group again. So we are going to work with it again. And you guys should please, I beg you, please let's work with assignments. Like if you are very consistent with trying to learn on your own self, so like you can try to just do more by yourself, it's going to be easier. I hope you like, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So first of all, we talked about visual communication and fundamentals, elements of design. We had talked about principles of design, color theory and application. So the assignments, I'm going to like drop the information of that on the group when we are done with the classes. So let's just like even first finish the class first before we're not like be talking of the assignments. I hope you guys get me. I just sent it again. I don't know, probably the group I'm on, the group that they added me to, I sent it to the group again. So I don't know which one you guys are on. I think MS Visual Academy, that is the one I'm seeing here. Oh, I'm coming. Let me. I'm coming, please. So I think I just told the admin now to send it to the group for you guys. So if he's active, he's going to send it as soon as possible as he can. So I want to like quickly make a recap so you guys are going to understand what I said earlier. And please, I beg you all, please, if you guys don't get anything, please like just call my attention. So I'm going to like go back to it. I beg you. So we have, first of all, we talked about the elements of designs. We are going to be working with points, lines, and shape, the basic building blocks of illustration, texture, and forms. So on CorelDraw, you are going to be working with shapes. Basically, you use shapes to design things that you have actually not expected is going to come to life. So I'm going to like be working with you guys. I'll be working along with you guys so that you're going to understand very well that these shapes are like something that you can actually create different things. You can use shapes to create logos, different things that you actually not even expect if you put your mind to it. Do you get? Then we talked about the principles of design, which is principles of layout. Sorry, we will be talking about hierarchy, contrast, and alignment and balance. So most of the we will talk how we are going to make sure that the important text is the largest and boldest. that is very, very important, because before you can explain a message to somebody, the person actually has to have something that is very, very eye-catchy. Probably the beauty brand, probably the plumbing brand, like something that's going to make you understand that, okay, this is actually defining a particular object, a particular something. Do you guys get what I'm saying? And then the next one, we are talking about adding depth and realism to flat objects. So like making things look very realistic. I don't know, if you have designs like explain a lot of things that even you said you were like you understand. Like if you have a flyer to somebody now, you send your flyer to somebody, you already like have your whole what's it called, service on the flyer. You have what you do, what you guys like. The whole message of your whole brand is actually on just one flyer. Like that is a message is actually passing to people. Let's say that you have like an advertisement flyer you want to do now, whereby you just design something and it's just going to pass a message to people that to understand that this is, excuse me please, this is like what we do. That is why we have a flyer. This is just to pass a message to people that I'm explaining to people what we do. So then, explain to people what we do. And then second of all, we have ensuring elements stand out against their background. So we'll make sure that every designs are like not contradicting each other. We are not mixing up colors that are not matching up together. They are not having something that is like disturbing your text or something. You have everything aligned. You have everything on where it is supposed to be. And then you have alignment and balance, creating invisible grids that bring order to chaos. So basically, that alignment and balance is like going to explain how what's it called? It's going to make your work look very neat and in a very balanced way. Like I gave the example before. Thank you very much. Like I gave the example before. If you have on a flyer now, whereby you have different different write-ups. If it is really, really scattered, you are not able to like pass the particular message because you are not putting everything according to the way it's supposed to be. Like everything is not in the right place, like that kind of thing. So if you are writing on your book now, you definitely have to rule a line, because that line is the one that is going to define, like that's going to make everything be on a straight line, like everything well aligned, every space in the right space, that kind of thing. And the same way you write neatly on your notes is the same way you have to neatly write on your flyer, that kind of thing. Okay, so that kind of thing, that is alignment and balance. Sorry. Then theory and application, where you have to apply your color in the right way. You have to make sure that you are applying the colors in the best way you can, whereby you are not contradicting a brand color with something else. Let me say you are working with a hairdressing brand and you're using like a very, very odd color that is not supposed to be you're not supposed to be working with, or like the instance I gave before, like the table water brand, whereby you're supposed to like have a very calm color because it's water, it is calm. So you need something to like complement how calm it is, which is like, let me say, like color blue. Color blue is like a very calm color. A very calm color. So that way you are going to like have to pass your message well. You are going to make the colors are like on point. And like I said again, every color defines your brand. For instance, we have color blue. It explains trust, corporate, and calm. Red, it explains urgency, passion, and danger. We have green, it explains growth, wealth, and nature. So every color has its own definition. So let me say if they gave you a design to do now, and then before you can actually firstly pick the color, before you do the color, like after you have the color, you firstly check for the meaning if it's going to work with the brand. Not all the time it works with the brand, but majorly it has to, because there is no way you are going to put something out there and the color is not aligning with whatever you are working with. Like all those, I don't know, all those flyers that you be seeing green on yellow on blue, like those things are not well aligned, like they are not well designed. So like to be a very good graphic designer, you have to make sure you know how to balance your color. You have to understand your You have to make sure your work are well aligned. You have to make sure your elements are not like nothing is contradicting each other. It is well balanced. So like I said, in the next class, you're going to be working with all of that. And I'm going to try my best that everybody is going to be carried along with everything. Then we have the raster graphics, which is made up of thousands of tiny colored squares called pixels if you zoom in. So this particular one, I'm going to also explain when we have the laptop. So I'm so sorry I could not come on my laptop today. I feel like actually just an introduction. So most of us will not really understand. You just have to work first. So after that, we are going to be talking on how photos work, how CorelDraw work. Basically, CorelDraw has the whole this thing there. CorelDraw has everything that I'm trying to explain to you. So when we are on the app, I promise you guys, I'm going to try to explain accordingly, step by step. So I think that is all for now that I can actually explain to you guys. So, and next time, I'm going to be talking of this CMYK and RGB kind of thing, and how we are going to use measurements, how we are going to use the measurements, how we are going to use how the pixels work and inches work also. So those everything like that, I'm going to be explaining everything to you guys in the next class. So I hope we all understood what I explained. So if you guys understood what I explained, I really, really appreciate your cooperation for today. And next class, please, everybody, I'm going to try my best to be on time. I'll be here on time next week. Probably I think it's going to start by 7. So by the grace of God, next week I'm going to do very well. So I hope you guys understood what I explained today. Thank you very much for your cooperation. God bless you all, and see you in the next class. So I'll be sending your assignments to the group, and I think that is all for today. Bye. Have a nice week. And in case you all have any questions, yeah, I think probably there's another group. I don't know. I already texted the admin though, so it's going to send it to you people. And in case there is any questions, you guys can send it to the group, and then they're going to forward it to me or anything like that. So thank you very much. Bye.